Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and this is our new family car, a 2025 Audi Q5. Now, I know what you're saying, it's 2026. How can you get a new car that's a 2025? Well, I actually got this car. We got this car in the spring. It's my wife's daily driver. I think we picked it up the end of March. And before they released the 2026, which has like a redesign, they had to get rid of all the 2025. So they had very aggressive leases in March of 2026 on the leftover 2025s. So we jumped on it. So the last 3 years, well, since 2022, almost 4 years, we've been driving, or 3.5 years, we've been driving the 2022 Acura RDX as our family car. And that was a phenomenal car, super reliable, good gas mileage, good performance, good handling. I mean, for an SUV in that class. And it was a fantastic, fantastic car. But in 2022 is when prices were crazy, so it actually was cheaper to finance the car with a down payment rather than lease it. So now we were kind of due. The car had needed some body work. It had some dents. I was a victim of a hit and run leaving Yankee Stadium a couple years ago. So it had a bad Carfax. And even though it wasn't my fault, and it needed tires and brakes, so I said, this is a good time to upgrade for my wife to get a leased car. She always wanted a German car, especially an Audi. The lease deals were good. It doesn't matter if you're leasing, if it's a 25 or 26. 26 may have some updates, but do you really need those updates? And then the lease price is going to be a lot higher, right? So this had a very aggressive lease rate, like $539 a month. I think you had to put about $5,000 down. But the RDX, we had a ton of equity in it. We bought that car for $45,000. It was a tech package, so we didn't have ventilated seats or a heads-up display, but you had like the navigation and the other stuff. And we bought that for like $45 plus tax, traded in for $27, which I thought was high, which I thought was really good with a bad Carfax, because they seem to be selling for like 30, so with a clean Carfax. But anyway, that was a phenomenal car. We loved it. Probably had about 38,000 miles on it. So now we have the Q5, and this is an excellent car as well. Again, we got it for $519 a month. I just kept negotiating, getting more and more money on the trade and lowering the down payment. So we have a 3-year lease, I believe, 36 months, 10,000 miles a year, which is all we need. This car will probably only see 10,000 miles. And this is just an intro video. I'm going to go over the options and window sticker. And then, maybe we do updates every 6 months, or if something happens with what service costs or anything that needs to be fixed, we'll do an immediate video on that. Remember, I do 8 videos a week, 1 full-length video like this at 7 o'clock Eastern time on Mondays, and then shorts 7 days a week. So you get 8 free videos, and all you have to do is subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you don't subscribe and hit the notification bell, you won't get any of those videos. If you didn't watch the last video and like it, you probably won't get the next video. So that's kind of how YouTube works. So remember, use two comments in every video. One, your questions on this car, and I'll answer them in the next one. Or, and a second comment of what car you want me to review next. All right, so this is a 2025, even though we leased it in 2026s. I think the 2026s are probably just coming out now. And let's go over the options. So it's got a 2-liter turbocharged engine, a 7-speed S-Tronic, which is Audi speak for dual clutch, and all-wheel drive. Now this comes with 18-inch wheels. We have the optional 20. The engine, I believe, is 268 horsepower, like 290 or 295 foot-pounds of torque, 0 to 60 in about 5.8 seconds. Now, because this is new and we don't have many miles on it yet, I don't feel, even though it's a second faster 0 to 60 than the RDX, I don't feel it yet, because I don't think the car is broken in yet. And sorry that it's dirty. I was trying to film today, and then we had thunderstorms. I'm filming this on a Sunday. But it is a fantastic car with a ton of room, very, very comfortable car, and a good-looking car, I think. So let's go over the window sticker. This is the Premium Plus. So Audi's a little tricky. They have like a premium model, which really isn't premium. The Premium Plus is premium. So this exterior, and we never really saw this color, but now we see it everywhere. Navarra Blue Metallic, which I'll tell you in a second what that costs. $595. Brown interior, and then the Premium Plus package for $4,500, which gives you 19-inch wheels, even though I think we have optional 20s on top of this. But Premium Plus would give you 19s, all-season run-flat tires. So yes, they're run-flats, adaptive cruise control, animation for headlights and taillights. They do like a little dance when you turn it on. We'll have to do a night video. The Bang & Olufsen sound system with 3D sound, which sounds amazing. Dynamic interaction light, I'll have to look into that. Heads-up display, which is excellent. Headlight washers, heated steering wheel, which was really nice to have. Hands-on for the cruise control, hands-on detection. The LED lights, interior package, panoramic sunroof, top view camera system, which is fantastic. USB power delivery. We also have the optional warm weather package, and that costs $950. That gives you manual rear side window sunshades, which you definitely don't need, but more importantly, ventilated front sport seats. And the interior is beautiful in this car. Wait till you see the brown interior. And now on top of that, this particular car is a 20-inch wheel package, which gives you 20-inch wheels with the 5-spoke design and the all-season run-flat tires with it. That is another $800. And then some minor things like the Audi beam. You probably can't see this during the day, but when you open the door, it'll give you the Audi flashing here. Yeah, I don't think it works during the day. But beautiful brown interior, like a chocolate brown interior. I'm 6 feet tall, so sitting behind myself, I can easily sit back here. And that was the difference. The Q3 had a similar lease, but it really didn't have the leg room. I couldn't really fit. It was a tight fit. Big trunk, and you could unlock it and swing your foot here, and it'll open up. But a huge trunk. Glenn can easily fit 2 hockey bags. I wouldn't be surprised if you could fit 3 hockey bags, and you could certainly fit golf clubs back here. You have a sunshade for privacy. You have speakers everywhere with the Bang & Olufsen. That sounds fantastic. So 2 gripes with this car, and I'm going to show you one of them. One of them is how thick all the buttons are here. For the seat adjustments, they're not on the door, right? So this is real thick. Now, if you go to the other side of the car, if you're going on the other side of the car, it's very easy to close the door handles because you just have lock and unlock, the window switch, like a normal car. Very easy to grab your hand, close the door. So when you're in this car, and again, you have passengers or you don't, doesn't matter. So when I go to close this car, it opens pretty far, and then just having a thing to grab here, I got the whole thick thing to grab. So I have a long arm and a big hand, but to a lot of people, I think that would be a problem. So that's one issue I have with it, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. And the answer is don't open the door all the way, right? So we have a great camera here, up and down camera. It's a really hot day, so I think the air is going to blast. You kind of do the controls down here, so you don't actually see the vent. It's kind of hidden. So very excellent camera. Heads-up display. I don't know if you can see it there. There you can see it. Probably it'll come out. Gives you the speed limit and the speed you're going. And let's see. Let me just try to go forward a little bit. Now, my other gripe is, and I'm probably just not used to it, is got to get to the HVAC controls. All right. So it has the parking yourself. They tried to demonstrate that to us when we bought the car. I don't have my seatbelt on. They tried to demonstrate that to us when we bought the car, and we couldn't get it to work, but so we'll just lower the fan speed here. All right, I don't have my seatbelt on, so I'm going to put my seatbelt on. But a very smooth ride. You have your controls here, and you have the volume controls here. You got lights when you signal. You can change the color of the lights. They'll be like green lights or blue lights, whatever you need. Again, I said the sound system is good. Heated and cooled seats are separate here, and you can do them at the same time. So I can have heated and cool. Some cars you can't do that. Cooled seats work well. Heated seats work well. Climate control works well. You do have to go in the menu if you want max air conditioning. So on day-to-day when it's 90 degrees, you do have to go in here. You could put it to 63 and it'll blow cold air, but if you really want to cool off fast, you do have to go into the menu to do it. Driving is very comfortable, and my only other gripe, and I think I'm just not used to it yet, is this dual clutch transmission. So a dual clutch is great on an RS3 or maybe the new R8. I don't know how well it works on a Q5 because it's very jerky around town. So if you're going to sit in a lot of traffic, which is what we kind of bought this car for, and family trips and commuting to work and, you know, Route 17, Paramus traffic, the jerkiness, it's not that easy. So you got to get used to it. Again, I only drive this car maybe once a week, so maybe I'm not used to it yet, but it can be jerky from the takeoff. So I think a torque converter automatic would have been better, but I'm sure they want to have one transmission for everything. So the dual clutch is very good. But otherwise, it's really an excellent car. And again, if we want to put on the air, so I'm going to blast it right now. We're going to go into max air, and now you'll hear it blast. Open the car. Parking brake comes on automatically because there's really no park because it's a dual clutch. Engine is fine. I think we don't have many miles yet, so I wouldn't say it's 100% broken in. I think the color is beautiful, and hopefully this will be a reliable car. We're going to have a 3-year test on it, so we'll go over everything. Now, this car was a lot more expensive to insure, and this car new was about $61,000. I forgot to tell you, it also has the panoramic sunroof, which is full of pollen right now. But this car, brand new, was $61,000, and again, our Acura RDX, which was pretty cheap to insure, we bought for $45,000 and then was worth $27,000, so that's probably the difference. So this was $1,000 more a year to insure, and New Jersey's pretty high to begin with. All right, guys, that's our video. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave those 2 comments, and remember, you get 8 videos a week, so subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'll have long-term updates on this for the next 3 years. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.